Did you see it?
No, I see the screenshot of everything. The same thing I can see on the other one. Okay, well.
Okay, hold on. I need to get. Do you know where? Hold on. I had a cheat note here, but I don't know where it is anymore.
Here. Thanks. How do I get rid of this right here? How do I get that over?
Oh god. Your backstage history.
That's just back. That's a browser.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to get that off of there.
Yeah.
Oh, how's that?
There it goes.
How about if I do that? Then I got it off, I think.
Yeah, that looks good.
Okay.
Okay. So this is from my computer, and this one is yours. That's what it says. Your backstage.
Okay. Okay. So, where did she go? She's not there now. She left. No, Vanessa, you left.
Right in the middle of it.
Damn. Oh, she's back. I can't hear you though.
Okay.
Okay. Now I can hear you.
This is why we needed to do a test run.
Well, yeah. Okay, so you have this working now?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think we're live on YouTube, on Facebook, and on, I don't remember what other. Oh, YouTube and Facebook. It says on top.
Okay, cool. So, do you have questions?
Sure, hold on. Well, I needed to start the show. You have to wait. I'm waiting. I'm looking for my script.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm waiting.
Yeah, well, you are so impatient.
Well, because I've been sitting here for at least 2 minutes waiting for you
You don't have four
to get-
kids.
to get
Four.
your talk together here.
A cat and a dog. So.
Who are you talking to about this, you think? I think I can say I've been there and done that. I'm not sure, but I think I can.
Okay, well, you understand then.
Yeah. I think that this still has to be over here. Too.
Huh?
The camera, I think it still has to be over here. Like it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because otherwise I'm turning my back to people. See, that works way better because I can still look over here and see this, and I'm kind of looking at the camera still. See? You can even move it over further if you want it.
There we go. How about that?
That's good for me. I don't care.
Okay.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, sounds good. Okay. Hello. Oh no, wait. Dun, 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 dun. Okay.
Hello.
Hi. Hi, welcome to Mental Arts with John Worthington. I'm Vanessa, and I'm joined here with John Worthington, author of The Office of Shaman and owner of Artis Mentalis, a float center and a class center in Puerto Vallarta. John, welcome to the show.
Why, thank you ever so much. I'm glad to be here.
So we have a set of questions that we're going to ask you and see how how you think about these things, because you are the one that wrote this book, right?
I did write this book.
So can you
It's a
introduce
here.
yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself and why you came up with the introduction of the art of rewriting?
Well, I don't know what you want me to, how much of an introduction you want me to give here, but I was in the right place at the right time for a whole lot of things, and or at the right place at the wrong time, depending on how you want to look at it. And I learned things. I didn't necessarily go looking for the things I learned, but the things came looking for me. And so um, at a certain point in time, I kept having recurring dreams about the structures that I write about. And I think that during those recurring dreams, I worked out pretty much the book and what it meant to me and that kind of stuff. And so the reason I wrote the book is because uh, I, I, it, I came to realize that I mean I kept hearing all these people saying, "Well, I want to know about being a shaman," or I'm going to be a magic person," or you know, oh, it went on and on and on. And so it's like I finally came to a place. I said, "Okay, you know, the actual shamans have been with in the society forever. I mean, just forever since there were people. We've been in the society. Shamans have been in society." And I don't know what it is that makes a shaman, but it damn sure isn't having a big stick or visiting the underworld or anything like that. It's actually, I think that what it actually is being connected with what we could call the soul, perhaps, or having a platform outside of the computer to consider things, perhaps is another way of thinking about it. Being able to control what it is that we look at, and when we look at it is perhaps another way of seeing it. And so I wrote a book that addressed those issues. That's pretty much the issue. Pretty much the story, I guess. Uh, I don't know if that introduces me or not, but it tells you something about why I wrote the book.
Okay, well, but after you wrote the book, you came up with a series of classes.
I did.
So when you went, okay, so those series of classes, like, why did you come up with those, and like, what are they constant of?
What did they consist of? You mean?
Consist of, yes.
Oh my goodness. Well, what they consist of is a whole bunch of ideas. Okay, but the reason why I put the classes together was so that people could figure out how to spend time in a tank office without it driving them crazy.
Okay.
Okay, because what happens in a tank office is that everybody who comes to visit the tank office and floats goes to that floaty place in their mind, whatever that means. They go way down into that place in their mind, and they say, "Oh, okay, here I am." And so when they come out of floating, they're not aware that they're not back from floating yet. And so we as facilitators have to take them from where they think they are to where they actually have to be, like able to get in the car and drive. And so we do things like we say we don't want to leave any tracks, we don't want to affect their programming. We do things like we talk to them about, here, would you like some tea? Would you like a cookie or something to kind of munch on a little bit? Would you like to write something down? Whatever we can give them or do for them that says, okay, come back to the real world, because you can't eat while you're dreaming. You can't go to the bathroom while you're dreaming even. That's important for some people I know even, to know that they never could go to the bathroom when they were dreaming. And so for them to wake up, for them to go to the bathroom and they woke up, that's just how it is. And so that's something that's true for all of us, is that we have to have a way back. So if we give people something to eat and then we say, well, how was your float? And so forth, then what we're doing is we're taking advantage of what we know about programming, and we're not letting their programming affect us, but yet we're getting them safely back on the road again so that they can get home all in one piece. Or at least we try to. Not everybody does that, because some people think they have it all wired. But, some people think they have everything all wired. So it's okay. I don't mind. So anyway, I put together these classes, and there's a number of them. The first one is called An Introduction to a Rewrite, where I want people to understand that they can actually sit down and write a program. In fact, they do. When people get in a tank, they write programs. And so, but they don't know what a a written program is, or how good they can write them, or when they have written them, or any of those other things. So I thought that we needed a class to introduce that concept to them, so they could say, "Oh, okay, I see. So this is, damn, look at that. I really have written these programs, and some of them suck rotten eggs. I wasn't very good at it, and other ones, I was a frickin' genius. What can I say?
What
Both things are true often.
when you say that you have written programs, what do you mean about that?
Well, everybody writes programs, and that's how all of us live life. Okay, I mean, what's between our ears is actually a computer. It's a biologic computer, but it works the same way that a silicon chip computer or a vacuum tube computer works. It has hierarchies. It has an operating system. It has major programs that it uses for all of its programs, all of its applications, let's say, because that's what the application is the application of, for instance, word processing and telephony and graphics and spreadsheets and so forth to a particular game, for instance. That's an application because it uses all those parts. Well, we have the same kind of thing for us. We have major programs and we have applications, and we have logical. This is what I'm writing into computer at the moment. So like right now, I'm speaking to you, and so I'm writing a program for me. I'm writing a program for you. I'm writing a program because of what I'm communicating. Okay, and so this memory that I'm forging now is going to be a program for me to remember how it is that I deal with you about these issues. Okay. Now, I've been doing that all my life, and so has everybody else. I mean, we start early on in life. You have a couple of babies, and I'm sure that you've observed this. Leah is saying, "Oh, look, I've got a hand, and I can get this ball, and damn it, I can't pick this ball up." But there she is saying, if I can only figure out how to bring this objective to reality, I can get this ball and I can throw it just like my brother does, huh? Even though she can't say any of that, she's still doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and Lukey, he's a little bit older, and so he's saying, well, look, I can be cool. I can be really fascinated, but my big brother plays the saxophone, and that may affect him for the rest of his life that he likes saxophone. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But however he perceives it, however he remembers it, it's going to be how he writes his program. Now, you don't know how he's writing it. I don't know how he's writing it. He may never know how he's writing it until he's way older and can realize that he wrote a program once upon a time about music. And then he might be able to remember it, and then he might not.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe somebody like his mom will say, I was there when you wrote that program. I didn't know that you did it, but I was there. And, son, you really wrote a program like this.
Mm-hmm.
That may be able to, he may be able to retrieve it with that. Maybe not. Who knows? I don't. I don't. My job isn't to know that. My job is to understand that he writes a program. That's it.
Okay, so when one writes a program,
Yeah.
I know that like what determines a statement.
Well, it depends. It really depends on like any other computer. It depends on what the statement is to the operating system, right?
Mm-hmm.
In other words, if there was a point in time where Apple computer couldn't really read Windows spreadsheets, for instance, or Excel, or whatever the word processor is for Windows. And then there came a time where you could get a Mac version of all that crap.
Mm-hmm.
And then there came a version where you could get a Windows version of all that same crap in Apple if you wanted, so that you could exchange it back and forth. You could have the same document working the same way in both types of computers. However, that required years of program writing and program adjusting for that to occur. Now, we all do that same thing with each other all the time, I think, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there we all do it, but there are people that can't grasp it. Why do you think that is? That concept of programming.
Oh, I don't think that's true. I think there are people who don't want to grasp it, but I don't think that's not it's true that they don't grasp it because they've done it their entire life. What's not to grasp? Hey,
So
I don't know how I walk, man, but you know what? I've been doing it all my life. Look at me, I can walk. Not very well, but I can walk. What the hell's the difference? Am I an Olympic walker? No. Can I walk better? Yes. Can I walk a long ways? Maybe, probably. Can I walk uphill? Sometimes. Can I walk downhill? Mostly. Can I walk across the flat plane? Yeah, to a certain extent. Across the room, usually. But can I walk? Yeah. But can I tell you how I do it? Nope. Can't tell you. Can I? The programming is exactly the same because programming. I wrote a program to walk too. I mean, it was there. But I mean, you saw Luke learn how to walk. Did he learn how to walk overnight? No, he had to write the program one damn piece at a time. And now that he's got a program, he walks all over the place. He jumps and runs and he's made the program much more complicated.
I know.
Yeah.
He wants to jump.
And he's trying to show that to his sister. Aren't you lucky?
Yeah, oh yeah. So another part that I personally have seen people, and we've gone like 6 hours on the concept, is charisma.
Yeah.
Why is it so hard for someone to change their charisma?
Because they think it has worked.
Okay.
Okay, and in other words, the reason why that I have a charisma, the reason why my charisma, I use the charisma I use, is because in my world, in my perceived world at least, it works. I get what I want.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you know your aunt. You know your aunt that thinks that she always gets what she wants, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she never gets what she wants, but she always thinks she's going to get what she wants if she pitches a bitch long enough.
Mm-hmm.
It never works, and everybody just despises her, really. But yet that doesn't mean that she doesn't give it her all, and she doesn't mean that she doesn't think that charisma is really a clever charisma. Otherwise, she wouldn't be using it. I can't take it away from her. I can't say that. No, Ellen, it's not. It really isn't that. It doesn't work that way. I've tried, but her perceptions is that it really works, and I'm full of shit. And so from her perspective, she's right. I can't tell her that she's not right about it. She is, but then I don't put much credit in rights and wrongs. I don't think that they're worth a damn. I think that they're confusing at best. That's my own personal opinion. But she's right. I like that she's right.
Apparently, she does too.
There's no doubt. I'm quite convinced.
And so another thing, that during the intro, what would be something that you pay attention to most when you're facilitating an intro class? So when a person is in an intro class and you're trying to help them through every step, what are you paying attention to and why?
Oh, okay. Look, when somebody comes into intro class, what they're telling me is what they think they want, and to write a goal for. In other words, the exercises say, bring something you want really in your life, and we'll write a goals means program for that. I'm not going to explain a goals means program right now, but I'll tell you what you asked me what I look for. Well, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to look for whether or not, first of all, they really want that thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's number one, because like in the MBO, it says that the first thing you need to do is you need to find out what's the agreement about, and then you got to find out at what depth is that agreement, and then you got to find out, okay, how serious are you about that agreement that you're doing? I mean, those are all things I want to look for just to see whether or not I can help somebody. Because if somebody's really wants to do the thing, then I'm going to give them straight skinny on it. I'm going to say, okay, well, look, you got to think about this way about it. I'm not telling you what it is, but you got these are things that you got to consider, and if you don't consider them, then you're probably not going to get there, because you got to see what the program is supposed to be doing for you. You got to see what this part's supposed to be doing, and so the goals meeting program consists of 11 or 12 parts, depending on how we want to make it work. But the idea of writing the program is so that we can see how we have always used our body as a guide for writing programs, just like Leah and Luke do. We all do that. And so what I'm looking for with somebody is whether or not they're willing to see, that what they have always thought was real may not really be. I'm not telling them that it isn't, but it may not be. It could be that what they've considered or what they've perceived is askew somewhere or the other. Not that they're wrong about it. It's just that they didn't know any different when they wrote that program, especially if they wrote it when they were a kid. I mean, what does Luke or Leah know about the eventual outcome of what their programming at the moment could be? What do you know about it? Nothing at all, right? It's not possible for us to know that. Mm-hmm. However, we can see that generally speaking, they have good programming. We can say, generally speaking, their programming is working for them well. How do we know that? Well, that same program has worked pretty well for their big brother and sister. Mm-hmm. Same programming. So probably that they're going to be okay with it.
Yeah, my other two older are learning how to see that when they do something, the other two little, or the one little one, follows.
Monkey see, monkey do. You mean the little monkey? You mean? Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. That's what happens. They're just a bunch of little monkeys, all of them.
All of them.
Yeah, and that continues on for quite some time, I'm afraid.
I know.
Okay.
So during the intro class, what would be something you pay attention? Oh no, sorry. In terms of programming, what is happening to a person when it has like its aha moment of revelation? I'm like, oh wow, Don, I know exactly what you were talking about.
Somebody, I think there was a flash of lightning, maybe. Okay, because the minute they say aha, you say, okay, great. What did you aha? And they tell you, and you say, okay, great. Now, how does that fit within? And they say, I don't know. There needs a lightning flash again. That's what happens. And so the aha moment is a momentary movement to say, okay, there's something here. There's something that I can see. There's something different than what I've been looking at for all my life. But what is it yet? They probably aren't going to know quite yet. They might have to. Well, it's like having a good piece of steak. You got to chew it for a while to get all the flavor out of it. Same thing.
Mm-hmm. And why do they have to do a practice program before they do a rewrite?
Well, the first time that you do this stuff, the first time that somebody does it, they can be cocky. Okay, and so the thing is they say, okay, let's do this practice program over the next couple of days, because you really want to find this thing that's screwing around there with your life. Why is it you're angry, really, for instance? Or why is it that you don't think that you're worth anything, really? Or why is it you defend everything before you get to the point of talking with somebody? Or why is it that you're still arguing with your mommy? Or why is it you still think your daddy's really scary? Why is it that all those kinds of things? Those are programs that take some time to think about, and then they're not written from the night till in the morning. Usually, it usually takes months to really walk through and write that stuff out, to think about all the parts, because those kinds of programs, they use just huge chunks of memory and thought and so forth. Okay, mm-hmm. They just do. They use they're what we call meta programs, or and some of them are even self meta programs, which means that they're meta programs that are really beliefs in real, is what a self meta program really is. And sometimes you have to relate that to the supra self meta program too, where the people have to say, okay, well, I have this instruction that I don't know what to do with. That it's all my life I've been trying to accomplish this thing, and I don't know how to do it. Well, I don't know either. So what is the instruction? And so as they talk about it, then sometimes they're able to see that for years they've been trying to be an artist, let's say, or they're trying to be a musician, or they're trying to answer this thing about dad, because dad was a musician, and they thought that mom thought he was trash, and when they lived with mom after the divorce, so on. There's all these kinds of permutations that come about that, we don't understand those things. Okay, we're kids. We don't have that experience set when we're writing that program.
Mm-hmm.
I think you remember that. Remember the client that argued with her, that thought her mom didn't love her because once upon a time, when she was the ripe old age of 2 years old, mom said, "Oh, babysitter, I forgot the babies all together when I went to the store." Yeah, right. Yeah, that was an excuse. I mean, I can see that from here 50 years later, dude. Or dudette. It's no big thing. Mom was flying to the babysitter. Mom didn't want a cab in the store. I don't blame her. She's tired, and the kids are tired. No, she's gonna leave them with you, and she's gonna say, "Oh, I forgot."
Yeah. I just stepped into the grocery store, and it took me forever.
Yeah, the line was it went around the block. I'm telling you. There wasn't any bread anywhere for 10 blocks. And these kids got to have bread,
Yeah, and she took like 10 laps around it. I can totally see her just like
Yeah, right.
getting in her steps.
Yeah. Forgot about the kids, huh? Yeah, maybe. Okay. I've used that same excuse. It's okay.
Have you now?
Everything's okay, sir?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I've never used that excuse ever.
You can say it now, 30 years later.
Yeah, I did. I used it.
Okay, so we're gonna wrap it up for tonight.
Okay.
So that's all for Mental Arts with John Worthington tonight. My name is Vanessa, and I'm glad you could join us. Remember to like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you'd like to take the introduction to the art of rewriting with John Worthington, we have a link in the description also to join our Patreon and get access to our private Slack channel, so you can ask John your questions or submit them. Thank you, John.
Well, you're welcome, Vanessa.
Okay.
I'll tell you what. How about we see you later then?
Yeah.
Would that be a good thing for you?
Yeah, it would.
Well, alrighty then. I'll see you later, kid. Bye.
Okay. Hold on, don't go.
Okay, I'm not going. I almost went.
I know.